everybody, Keddy with Unity Gain. How you guys doing today? Wanted to show you some cool stuff. We have new software that I've talked about that I've been using, which is Logic Pro, and I just kind of wanted to give you a rundown of some of the different sounds and how this thing works. So yeah, I will put my little disclaimer out here. I am not, and never have I said I'm a keyboard or piano player. I am not, but there's a few things that I've figured out and done for years, and so I just kind of have fun with it. Also, this is a noisy keyboard, and my lapel mic's gonna pick some of that noise up. So good. I'll try to play quietly for you. But anyway, let's get into it and let you hear some of these cool things. So one of the first sounds I have up here on my keyboard is I have it set to a Wurlitzer, and you can see, like any other recording software, you can select your tracks and do all this stuff together. So you can see how I can switch through all these different sounds. So we're going to show you the Wurlitzer first. Now the Wurlitzer is a pretty famous electric piano back in the day. I'm not sure how far back it goes, but I know it's at least in the 70s. It's probably the 60s as well. But what the Wurlitzer sounds like without anything on it, like the chorus or the drive, is pretty cool. It's just a nice electric piano, you know? And with the tone wheel on the keyboard, you can control the tremolo, the wah, wah, wah. You can speed it up and slow it down, and that's what you're hearing there. Make it real heavy, or back it down to nothing. I love that trem. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on the chorus here and let you hear what this thing sounds like with the stereo chorus turned on. So the Wurlitzer is known for a lot of things, and so that was how it sounds clean. So I'm going to turn on the stereo chorus and let you hear what it sounds like with the chorus turned on. So it just sounds so cool. Here's without and with. You get that oscillating sound. That's pretty cool. But what the Wurlitzer is known for is its drive, which is a kind of a gritty distortion. So when you get into some of this really cool bluesy, jazzy, old school rock stuff from the 60s and 70s, you get this. Isn't that cool? And that's the Wurlitzer classic. I just love that thing. So let's move up to something else that I love, absolutely have loved. I played these in high school, and these are the vibraphones. And I started playing them in jazz band, but not till I was like a senior, so I didn't really get to play them a lot. And I've just been in love with them ever since, and I still plan on buying a set of Vibes. Vibes are cool, man. They're just cool. Okay, let's move over to, I'm going to skip that one. I'll come back. So I do a lot with organs in our music, and one of the ones we've been using a lot is about 3 different organs: a jazz organ, a rhythm organ, and a hard rock organ. I'm going to play the jazz organ today. Now, organs don't have sustain pedals. So if you want the note to sustain, you have to hold it down. But the pedal activates the Leslie speaker. So listen to the difference, without and with. it's just so cool. And jazz, you know. Very cool. All right, so let's move on over to the hard rock organ, which I use a lot. And we move over to the strings. Cellos are great. I love cellos. Now a full string section. So obviously these things are played, you can hear, you know, you can hear when I change from, and I let up to go to somewhere else, you can hear those changes. But you got to kind of learn how to play the difference between a sustain pedal. There's a way to play it to make it sound a little more accurate, because I know it sounds like you're playing it on a keyboard, because we are, obviously. Clarinets. Everyone's got to love clarinets. Big band stuff. I'm not going to play big band here, but... clarinets are great. And then French horns. So here's why I'm showing you all those. You can combine all of that stuff. So if we take the French horn and we take the clarinet and the strings and the cello, you're getting an orchestra. It's just cool. And you can adjust those levels, you know, if your French horn's too high, bring it down. If you want more clarinet, bring your clarinet up. Very cool. So now we can go in here. We can turn on the organs. You can combine those. Couple things I've been holding out on here. I've been wanting to show you. We're going to do let you hear the choir. So the first choir that we use a lot is the gospel ensemble. I use gospel ensemble a lot. It's just great sounding. And I just think that's a really cool sounding gospel choir sound. And then the other one I've got on here is I've got the church choir. And that's more something like you would hear in like a cathedral, you know. The other one is more probably like a contemporary gospel choir, the gospel ensemble. And then we've got one more here, and it's a female ensemble, which is pretty cool. That's just really, really cool. And then one of the things I'm saving here for the last, which is probably one of my favorite things. So this is the 70s funky clavinova, little Stevie. There you go. You're kind of getting some ideas of some of the songs there. I think I got all of them, the ones that I had up there. There is one that I'm going to pull up on here because I was going to save it for you just to give you an idea of what it was. I've got something coming up. I've been working on a song, and I'm using this one a lot. And I wasn't going to do this, but I'll do it now. So I'll give you a clue of what it is we're doing here. That's really cool, and that is an African choir. I wish there was more settings on this because there's only two: South African singers and South African voice effects, and the T to Timo. Timo. So anyway, I just wanted to give you guys a taste of some of the stuff that I've got that I'm using on some of our songs. It's a lot of fun, and you're going to be hearing some of this stuff coming up. Some of it's already been used on our songs, some of the organs and stuff, and the choir, the gospel ensemble. But I haven't used any of the African choirs yet, and a lot of the strings and stuff we haven't done yet, but there's all kinds of stuff coming up. And with that, I'm going to shift over and let Jeff talk to you for a minute about some mic drum placement, and we'll take it from there.
Hey everybody, Jeff E. Reed here. I'm down at Stone Puppy Records. This is the Unity Gain Show. And I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about my new song, or our new song, I should say. We got this new song out. It's already released. The video and the song is ready to view and to listen to on YouTube and wherever music is streamed. Anyway, it's called One Single Tear. Now, when you listen to the song, you're going to notice that I left the drums pretty hot in the mix. And the reason I did that is because they turned out so great. And I always say that the performance is far more important than the miking technique or the studio room or whatever. But I have Keddy on the drums, and sometimes I have my son Josh in here on the drums. And those guys are great, phenomenal drummers. So all I have to do is worry about capturing it. So I got this system that was basically invented out of necessity. Now, like I said, my son Josh is a recording artist as well. And he came into the studio one day and he had some songs and he wanted to record some drums. He always lays down drums in Dad's studio, so he was down here. And unfortunately at that time, I had a bad sound card. It just gave up on me. And I said, sorry son, you know, the sound card's toast. All I had at that time was this little guitar preamp like interface with 2 inputs and 2 outputs. So my son, he was kind of bummed out, you know, because he wanted to do drum tracks that day. And I said, well, you know, we can mic a drum set and just record it with 2 tracks. People do it all the time, you know. Let's just try it out. So I have a little mixer with 4 XLR inputs, and we started using different mics and different methods and different placements and just experimenting around with it. And then all of a sudden, boom, there it was. Like we recorded the drum set for about 5 minutes, and then we sat back and listened to it. We were like, oh my goodness, this sounds great. It was literally the best drum tracks I had ever recorded. And I'm the kind of engineer who likes to get drum tracks that sound like real drums. I don't want them to sound too overprocessed or anything like that, and this was perfect. I set the mics up, I hit record. In post, all I have to do is a little bit of EQing on the kick drum to bring it out, to bring it forward, and the rest of the drum set is just leveling and panning, and so easy. It's so easy, and the drums sound great. Anyways, I'm going to show you how I got those sounds. I got the drum set. What I'm looking at is the drum set. It's right here. So what I think I'll do is I'll just pick up the camera and walk around the drum set and explain what's going on. And you guys can take this system and try it out, and I'm sure you'll be happy with it if you do. I'm not saying that this is the best way to do it. I'm not saying this is the right way to do it. I'm just saying this has been working for us, and we've been doing it for quite a while now, so I don't see anything changing that much. There are a couple of microphones that I feel like we could probably get a better sound if we changed them out, but I am a recording artist on a budget, so a lot of the gear you're going to see here is inexpensive, and but it works really well. Like I said, you can go listen to that song. It's called One Single Tear. So anyways, you'll want to check out my son's music too. His project is called Shark Tooth Necklace, and the song is called Dreams. So that's Shark Tooth Necklace Dreams. You search for that on YouTube and you'll find it, and it is a great song. It's wonderful. In fact, Keddy and I were trying to talk him into letting us do an episode of the Unity Gain Show about his song. And that will probably happen in the near future, so be looking for that. Anyways, let's get into this drum set and I'll show you what's going on. Okay, everybody, this is the drum set. This is the bad boy. This is actually my son's drum set. We bought this for his Christmas when he was probably about 5 years old. And that kid, he's been playing the drums ever since he could pick up a stick, and doing quite well at it too. So let's get right into it here. So the kick drum is an old Audio Technica microphone. It's a kick drum microphone But this is one of the mics that I was thinking about changing out because either the AKG Ugly Duckling or the Shure Beta kick drum mic might look good. But this mic, I just have basically half the screen is inside the sound hole, and I always run the gain just so that it's not clipping, but you want as much signal as you can get. Okay, so up here on the tom-toms, I have a Audio-Technica. It's either a 2035 or a 3025. I can't remember. I never can remember that. But I have it about 12 inches from the center of these two toms, the center of the drum heads of these two toms, and then centered perfectly in between the two toms. Obviously, it's not set up that way right now because I've moved things around. I've been using the cables to record other things, so that's why it's not in place. It's actually should be more kind of like this, but that's still not right. So if you have a ruler, you can say 12 inches between the center of these two tom-tom heads, and then just centered in between the two drums, and it would be a little higher. It'd be up here and pointed at the center of the drum heads. Okay, so down here, I have a CAD 3000. It's got two switches on it, but nothing is cut. Everything's on full blast, so that's good. Bluebird, it's up there overhead. It's about 36 inches from the top of the ride cymbal, so about a yardstick up. And of course, I never measure anything. That's just guessing. And this is the other side. It's exactly the same microphone. Also about 36 inches up from everything. It does a good job. Okay, so down here on the snare, I have a CAD dynamic microphone, and I'll probably switch that one out too someday with an SM57. And it's about 5 or 6 inches above the rim of the snare and then pointed directly at the center of the snare. And like I say, I try to run everything, every microphone, I try to run it as hot as I possibly can without it clipping, and that's how I get my sound. All right, I just want to thank you guys for watching the show, and I had a lot of fun today. And hey, give this miking technique a try, and when you do, leave us a comment, tell us how it went, tell us your experiences with it. And you'll want to leave a comment anyways, because when you do, your name gets put into a drawing for some cool Unity Gain merchandise. And our stuff's getting pretty cool now, so you'll want to get your hands on some of that stuff. Anyways, we try to put out a show every Monday, and we've been doing that pretty successfully for the last 3 months. And but if you want to be notified when a new show comes out, all you got to do is like the page, subscribe, and ring that bell, and you'll be notified every time. Thanks again for watching. We're having a blast doing this, and I hope you're having a blast watching it. And as we always say before we sign off, don't forget to push record. We'll see you next time.